When we think about gender construction, there are those who say the idea of gender is a social construct in part or largely dependent upon biological differences between the two sexes. And others have said that it is, and that became in time ratified and institutionalized and so forth. And in part, something that others would argue is entirely a social construction. So, what is it? Now, when I was young, and some of you would have shared this kind of history, cultural history, were fairly clear definitions about what it meant to be a woman or what it meant to be a man. And those expectations, in some way, were also carrying sanctions. There was a cost if you did not behave according to those expectations. Now, of course, a lot of those expectations have changed through the years, and it's produced confusion for some people, and a lot of people have been freed by the changing of those expectations, to be sure. So when we think about gender as a social construction, we realize there are sort of four characteristics here. One is it can be tied to issues of definition of self, definition of value, definition of roles, power, and privilege. And so it's something that carries often a kind of hierarchical and judgmental character about it. Gender can also be defined as something that involves a set of expectations of what is to be asked of a person, maybe what is demanded of a person. As Simone de Beauvoir said, one is not born a woman, one becomes a woman. Now, what does that mean? And what she was referring to, of course, was one begins to be shaped by cultural values and expectations, quite separate from biological differences. We can also say of gender that there is a world of expectations about performance, and people are evaluated according to their performance. To what degree do you adhere to a feminine dimension or feminine role or feminine expectation, or what degree do you sort of adhere to a kind of masculine role? The fact that at this era in history we would still be concerned about a player being gay to play in the professional basketball or professional football, both of which are happening at the same time, is an example of that. That underneath there, there's somehow a sense of confusion around identity, role, which is to play basketball or football, and expectations about how one is to comport oneself. It's also about Gender is also about accountability. The degree to which one measures up to an abstract set of expectations. And those expectations may be entirely related to the particular culture, as in fact we know they are.